I've said it a few times on the channel, digital is not better than analog. Analog is not better than digital. There's no better than. There's a preference. However, you don't see many people praising how amazingly digital something is, or the insides of something. That's fine, digital is fine, but dude, we're in a whole different ballgame now. Today I give you the Ecofix EF-P2 Spring Reverb. What is up, YouTube? My name is Buddy Blues, and we go to Australia one more time. And we visit Ecofix, which is a bunch of the coolest people I've ever met. I'm sure you've heard of Ecofix. They make the EF-X3, and you've seen that. It broke the internet. It's a tape delay. And it's a real tape delay with real tape inside. Here, I'll show it to you here. Now that unit could be the best delay on earth. It's been said that it is. You can ask Sean from Edge of Breakup. But now they've moved into this territory. They kept the studio grade for everything. And when I say studio grade stuff, I'm saying this could go on a pedal board. Absolutely, it fits, it's not that big. It fits, it goes on a pedal board, and you now have real spring reverb. There's real springs inside, you will see it in a second, because it illuminates. So we get it, it does fit on a pedal board. You can plug your guitar into it, blah, blah, blah. Or you can put this on top of the amp, which I've seen a lot of creators do so far, and run it into the effects loop. And now your amp, like my JTM 45, that doesn't have a built-in real spring reverb, now does. Now here's what I mean by studio grade. The input and the output of the pedal, they've matched the impedance to where you could plug a guitar in, or has the same level of a line in type thing. So you can plug your synth, you could plug, so this could go on a desk, ladies and people. Could go on a desk. And now your desk has spring reverb. Now what? Checkmate! But you can use it in a studio application. Now, one quick thing that I want to show you that's some of the coolest thing I've ever seen. It only works when you plug it in. I mean, it only works when you plug it in and you start playing into it. The coolest feature, but here's a cool feature. This illuminates the second you plug it in. Now, whenever you play, it'll show you the meter. Whenever you're in the red, that means you're in distortion territory, which is not a bad thing because, as well as reverb, volume, treble, and bass, which makes you tailor the the reverb, which makes you tailor the reverb to your sound. You want to bass your reverb, add bass, you want more treble, like a brighter type, trail edge type thing. Cool. You got a spring drive over here on the very last knob. It says spring drive. And what that is, it's quite literally driving the springs so that you may go into the distorted reverb territory. Your signal will remain clean, but your reverb and the trails will be distorted. Oh, come on, man. I'm losing my king mind. On top of all of this, this is your on and off. Okay, every pedal has that. Cool, whatever, blah, blah, blah. However, you have an on-off. You know how some reverbs have a mix? And we tend to keep the mix in the middle, a little bit of dry signal, a little bit of reverb, blah, 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 keep everything cool. Okay, this has a direct on and off, meaning you could shut that off and you've got just the reverb coming through. So if you're using that into your effects loop of an amp and you turn that off, you're just getting the reverb rather than the dry signal in your power section. Ladies and gentlemen, I will throw this across the house to make a point of how cool it is. Then what? Okay. Or I will play it for you, and that's what I'll do. I'm going to plug into my JTM 45. It has no reverb. No JTM 45 has reverb. Let's not get into the specific. Oh, they made a super reverb. My JTM 45 does not have reverb. I'm going to go in front of the amp. You can go in your effects loop, sure, that's cool. But I want to go in front of the amp to show you that it is just as good as if you go into the effects loop. And you will see that my amp will sound like it has spring reverb. Let's get to it. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you have now heard the Echofix EF-P2 real spring reverb tank this size. This size. Remember the old Fender tube? Remember the old Fender spring reverb tanks that you used to put on top of the heads of an amp? Like if an amp didn't have reverb, kind of like a basement or whatever, it would go on top of it and it's as big as the head. This is where we are in today's world. All analog. The Australians, man, I tell you what. This is such a cool company. I encourage you, I beg you to go on their Instagram, go on their website, look at what they're making, look at the innovations they're making. It's unreal. That tape, yeah, but that tape echoes the Benson. Okay, it's been done, we get it. It's been done in the 60s and 70s, we get it. But man, have you seen it in today's world and market and how they're doing it? I mean, or a spring reverb that's this cool. I get a little too excited when it comes to exciting stuff, ladies and people. If this is your first time on the channel, welcome. If it's not, welcome back. Thank you to Echofix for having me on this lovely release. Okay, we released it at 11 o'clock Central, which means, I don't know, it was 3 days ago in Australia. I don't know how time change works. Please consider liking, sharing, subscribing. Send this video to Echofix and tell them that, hey, Buddy Blues did a video on your pedal just now. Were you aware of this? What? I don't know why they still watch. I have been Buddy Blues. You have been the people of the blues. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time. Oh, man.